ahead on OC News. A sexual assault on the campus of Cal State Fullerton. News about the incident has just become public. We will have more on the attack that happened in the dorms over the weekend.
Russia targets Syria and airstrikes early this morning. We'll have reactions.
And the Titan men's golf team is off to a fantastic start of the season, finishing third in the first tournament.
All this plus weather and entertainment. OC News starts right now.
I'm Emily Ornelas. Surprising news as students arrived on the campus of Cal State Fullerton this morning. The headline across the Daily Titan is sexual assault allegedly occurred in student housing. Michelle Vargas has the story.
We are right by the housing office because there has been a report that a victim was sexually assaulted this past weekend on a Saturday evening. However, campus police department was just aware of the incident this Tuesday evening. Behind me, you will see the buildings, which are home to about 2,000 students a year. Unfortunately, there are 44 RAs, but none were aware of this incident. Now, it is known that by law, there have been reports, but these do not show in the statistics for Cal State Fullerton. There is a known person who was the one to blame for this assault, but they are still on the loose. If anybody has any information regarding this issue, please contact the campus police department. And if you need any more information, please come to the housing office where they will offer any assistance. Reporting live, Michelle Vargas.
4 years into the Syrian war, Russia has officially stepped into the battle. President Putin ordered early morning airstrikes, claiming they were only focusing on ISIS targets. However, many in the United States are not sure about Russia's true intentions.
In a potential game changer in the war on ISIS, Russia conducted military airstrikes in Syria. Russia's defense minister said in a statement that ISIS military equipment and communication centers were hit. But some U.S. officials believe Russia's main targets were forces in conflict with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad.
We must not and will not be confused in our fight against ISIL with support for Assad.
And in a move rarely seen on the diplomatic stage, the United States was only given about an hour's notice before the airstrikes began, and it was not given exact locations of where the strikes would take place.
I have been dealing with them for a long time, and this is not the kind of behavior that we should expect.
Republican Senator John McCain says he believes the real purpose of these strikes is for the Russian president to gain more influence in the region.
These strikes near the city of Homs is not under control of ISIS, of the Islamic State. So already we are seeing the true intentions of Vladimir Putin.
Putin says this military operation is limited in time and there will be no Russian boots on the ground. Kerry says U.S. and coalition airstrikes will continue against ISIS, and he says attacks with other motives would not be welcomed by the United States.
Strikes of that kind would question Russia's real intentions fighting ISIL or protecting the Assad regime.
In Washington, I'm Steve Nannis reporting.
After 4 years of college, most students are ready to get out. But for some, when college ends, grad school begins. In the middle of the quad at Cal State Fullerton, students are discovering more information about grad school programs. It's all part of the Grad Expo, an event being put on by the Career Center. The event is designed to showcase graduate schools and programs to over 38,000 students who are currently studying in the school, 55 undergraduate programs. At the expo, students can visit different booths and hear from different school programs. They are also given tips and advice towards applying for grad student schools and the requirements needed. When we come back, a murder in Arkansas was caught on Snapchat.
And with October starting tomorrow, breast cancer awareness is here to help decrease chances of getting breast cancer.
CSU and a top public university in the West. Titans support community, providing spaces for coming together that add depth to the human experience. Titans celebrate opportunity, holding high our achievement in making education accessible with tuition well below the national average. Titans welcome challenge, responding to the state's evolving workforce needs and driving economic development. Titans embrace diversity, knowing that our differing backgrounds and perspectives strengthen our students. Titans pursue innovation, creating a university that is an emerging national model for empowering students on their way to a degree. Titans reach higher.
All right, so the warm weather is yet to cool off. Let's check it out with Cozy Johnson, see the latest on weather and see if we could stay cozy in this heat.
Thanks, James. In the lovely city of Fullerton today, we have a high of 89. We're going to be dropping down to a low 67 with winds at 6 miles per hour, humidity around 41%. And if you happen to have a date and want to see a nice sunset, you can do that around 6:39 p.m. On to the 5-day, excuse me. Wednesday, which I've already given you, on to Thursday, high of 87, low of 65. Friday, 85 for a high, dropping down to 65. And let me scoot back a little bit more. On to the weekend, where we'll have a high of 85 on Saturday, a low of 65, and on into Sunday, where the temperatures are going to drop a little bit lower with a high of 75 and a low of 63. On to national news, we have a little purplish something going on in Los Angeles. I can see it's matching my uniform here. I like that, or my suit. With a high of 85 in Los Angeles, we have San Francisco with a low of 63. On to Denver, you can see with a high of 81. St. Louis is a high of 72. And on back to New York is going to be 70 degrees for their high. I'm Cozy Johnson Jr. with National News. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Cozy. A murder in Arkansas has been caught on Snapchat.
An Arkansas man accused of killing his girlfriend said he's not guilty of murder during his first court appearance Tuesday. But pictures found on social media don't help his case. It's believed he posted pictures of himself holding a gun to his girlfriend's head. The man in the picture, Hernandez's boyfriend and murder suspect Rafael Gonzalez. These three pictures, all on different forms of social media, but NLRPD Sergeant Brian Diedrich says pictures can only point them in the right direction. According to the arrest affidavit, a friend told North Little Rock Police Gonzalez accidentally shot Hernandez and that he routinely plays around with a pistol. Defense attorney Bill James says photos like these can be a key factor in a jury decision to look a suspect up. And in Gonzalez's case, he's convicted felon and not allowed to possess a firearm. Sergeant Diedrich says pictures and the hard work from detectives have put the man they believe is responsible behind bars.
Thanks, Sarah. October starts tomorrow, which means Breast Cancer Awareness Month is about to begin. So let's hand it over to Andrew Fortuna with health.
One of the most crippling diseases for women and men is breast cancer, but support for those battling cancer is at an all-time high. October serves as Breast Cancer Awareness Month and a time for all of us to make sure we are healthy and to go to the doctor to make sure we get a checkup. Let's go to reporter Holly Pfeiffer, who has more on women and how they can reduce their risk of contracting breast cancer.
Taking steps to be healthy may not prevent all breast cancers, but for most women, those steps can reduce the risks. What can you do? First, watch your weight. Being overweight or gaining weight as an adult increases the chance of developing the disease, especially after menopause. So eat well to keep your weight in check throughout your life. Also, get some exercise. Experts recommend about 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity each week, or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise. If possible, include at least 2 strength training sessions a week as well. Also, don't smoke. And if you drink alcohol, limit yourself to no more than 1 drink a day. The more alcohol you consume, the greater your risk, experts say. If you're able to breastfeed when you have children, this may offer some protection against the disease. Avoid hormone therapy after menopause if possible. It may raise the risk. In addition to healthy lifestyle habits, it's important to get screened for breast cancer. Early detection may increase the chances of successful treatment. Talk to your doctor about the best screening options for you.
Again, the month of October. That means fall season is swing. Cool, brisk air, leaves turning gold and orange, as well as even jack-o'-lanterns on porches are things we usually identify with fall. One that we do not is the flu. While the highest contraction of the flu usually strikes in February, according to the CDC, the season actually starts in October. 5 to 20% of the entire population get the flu, and over 200,000 individuals a year are hospitalized as a result. Now you may be thinking, it is a 15% range comparison to the entire population possibly coming down with the flu. What causes it? Well, the reason lies with us being responsible for our own bodies. Prevention of a flu epidemic is the biggest factor in limiting how many people get sick. The first and most effective step is going and getting a flu shot. You can get the shot or shots at most clinics and regular private practices, although supply is limited and is hard to find after late October. A great option for Cal State Fullerton students here is the Health Center on campus, titled with the catchy slogan, Fullerton Flu Fighters. CSUF will be giving out free flu shots on 3 different occasions. On October 7th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. by the dorms, and the next day on October 8th at Fullerton's Irvine campus from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. If those dates don't work for you, the fighters will be back the next week on the 13th, 14th, and 15th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day. In addition, eating right and getting plenty of rest during this time is key. With many germs out in the air, our body's immunity gets attacked mostly every time we are out in public. Finally, don't forget to throw on a jacket. The weather will be cooling more and more in the next few weeks. For your latest health news and tips, I'm Andrew Fortuna. Thank you, and back to you.
Thanks, Andrew. After the break, we'll have all your entertainment news and sports highlights, including the Dodger big win. That's next. See you after the break.
It's what powers our journey to reach unimaginable heights. It fosters a sense of yearning to create, explore, and soar. It strengthens our will to climb to the top. It's the bedrock of our conviction that nothing's impossible. It transforms us and sets us free to thrive and build lives of purpose. Titan pride is at the heart of who we are.
Welcome back. The Cal State Fullerton had a jam-packed schedule in sports this weekend, and Dodgers take a big win. We're going to send it over to Kyle Lowe for more.
Let's first start with Cal State Fullerton Sports Lightning Round. The Cal State Fullerton men's golf team finished 3rd in its first tournament of the season at the Etani Quality Homes Collegiate. The team was led by redshirt senior Mark Jensen, whose 9th place finish overall gave him his best finish of his career, and Fullerton's 3rd place finish is the best in the program's history since they won the Big West Tournament Championship in 2014. Now for both men's and women's soccer, they start conference play this week. Both teams are looking to repeat as Big West Tournament champions. Women's soccer has gotten off to a hot start and comes into conference play with an 8-1-1 record, and they face bitter rivals Long Beach State on Sunday at 6 p.m. The men have had a tougher start to the season and currently sit at 5-4 overall. They will look to get 2 quick conference wins this week. They face Sacramento State tomorrow night at 7 p.m. and Sunday they will take on the UC Davis Aggies also at 7 p.m. Now over to the court, where Titan Volleyball sits with an 0-13 record. They look to get their first win in the season tonight against conference rivals UC Irvine. They will then, for the first time in an entire month, come back to Titan Gym and face the number 10 team in the nation, Hawaii, on ESPN3. Now on to professional baseball, as the Dodgers, behind their ace Clayton Kershaw, look to clinch the NL West title with a win over the San Francisco Giants.
starters to go deep into the game.
Season's World Series MVP Madison Bumgarner on the hill. He looks to spoil the Dodgers. But don't worry, Kiki Hernandez doesn't want to have any of that, as he takes that pitch to deep left field to put the Dodgers up 2-0 in the third inning. Then later in the sixth inning, Justin Ruggiano shows he can hit one deep to left field for a solo home run, and he makes it 3-0. Bumgarner didn't have any other luck though, because the next batter up, A.J. Ellis, he decides he's not going to have any of this, because he hits another home run to, you guessed it, deep left field. Another solo shot puts the Dodgers up 4-0. Bumgarner was not having it. That was the last pitch he threw in the entire game. Now Clayton Kershaw, he had a different kind of outing. He had 11 strikeouts, including this curveball to get Trevor Bauer. He wasn't done there though, because then he makes Angel Pagan practically lose his helmet on that swing, another strikeout. And then this guy, he's just swinging the bat. Just go sit down. That's 3 Ks in the inning. Kershaw just was dominant, complete game. Now you can see the champagne as everyone's getting ready because they know what happens. There's 2 outs here in the ninth. If Kershaw gets this out, everyone's going to be happy. Here's the pitch. Grounds it to shortstop. Nice clean play, over to first, and the Dodgers win again. This is their 3rd straight title. This hasn't been done in history. 3rd straight title for the Dodgers. It was great fun, and Kershaw is going to be looking for them in the playoffs. All they have to do is now face the Mets later in probably the first round of the playoffs. That's all over here for sports. Let's head it back over to the team.
Thanks, Kyle. Back in the news again. Kanye West has some choice words and his mother-in-law joins him. For all your entertainment news, here's Jasmine Sayagon.
I'm Jasmine, and this just in. Kanye West will now be performing at the Democratic National Committee on October 10th in San Francisco. The music artist is to perform hits from his new album, Swish. In the audience to watch his performance will be President Obama. Soon after Mr. West announced at the MTV Video Music Awards that he will be running for president in 2020. After the announcement, the Democratic Party tweets from their direct Twitter saying, "Welcome to the race, Mr. West. Glad to have you." I wonder what kind of redecorating he would do to the White House if he were to be voted president. Now as for Kanye's relative, Caitlyn Jenner, prosecutors have declined to charge her from the February 7th car accident. Involved 3 cars, including Jenner's. Driver Kim Howe died when her Lexus was hit by a Hummer. Investigators previously assumed that Jenner was driving at an unsafe speed. The case then referred to the Direct Attorney's Major Crimes Division. Based on facts, the office then determined that they, and I quote, "cannot prove beyond a reasonable doubt that suspect's conduct was unreasonable. So with insufficient evidence to support a case, Jenner is off the hook." Now, for all you Facebook users, there has been some privacy hoax making its round again. One hoax claims to be a legally binding agreement to protect the copyright of your pictures and profile information. The others claim to let you pay a fee to make sure your posts stay private. No worries though, it's all a hoax. Facebook has claimed itself as a social media site that is free and users own their own photos and their own content that is posted to their Facebook page. I'm Jasmine Sahagan with your entertainment today. James, back to you.
Thanks, Jasmine. We would love to have you join us on social media. You can find us on Facebook under OC News. We are also on Instagram and Twitter, all with the OC News handle.
That's going to do it for us at OC News. Thanks for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you again next Wednesday at 5 p.m. for OC News.